All right, this is the copyright disclaimer. The copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Fair use, fair use, fair use.
Black women love to scream, we ain't got no protection. Who gonna protect black? Y'all, when people try to protect black women, they end up fucking dead. Y'all heard about that girl who got her two brothers killed because she called them over to the house when her and her nigga was getting into it, and they go over there to protect her. They end up getting unalive. Before you run to go protect anybody, get context. What exactly happened and how did it start? Because a lot of black women put themselves in situations to make a motherfucker want to beat their ass, and then they want to cry victim later on. Another reason why nobody is quick to jump and protect black women is because we look like we got it. We're loud as fuck like we got it. We also built up like we got it. Don't nobody feel the need to protect black women. And a lot of times y'all be wanting protection from shit you cause. If you learn to shut the fuck up, maybe other people won't handle you aggressively. But a lot of black women are very aggressive out in public. So the energy you give is the energy you're going to receive. Maybe if you be more dainty, and I see the girls are now trying to be whimsical now, actually be whimsical and not just look whimsical, maybe somebody will want to protect you.
You might not agree with me on this. There's a good chance you won't. But Texas man dies trying to protect woman from her husband during a domestic violence attack. Now here's the part we might disagree on. As a man, and I teach my sons this too, you never jump in to protect a woman from a domestic dispute. If you want to help, you dial 911. Give the police the information. But you dial 911 and give the police the information while you're walking away from the situation. This man lost his life trying to play Superman. You never do that. I never get in between a man and a woman's business. I don't care what you say. I don't care how you feel. That man might have been putting his hands on that woman they whole motherfucking marriage and she still ain't left and got help. And here you come trying to save the day and now you're unalived? I've told this story before. I used to work at Myers. I seen a dude, Kyrie Irving, dribble his girl's head off the windshield in their Suburban. Just bow, bow, crossover, everything with her head. She looked at me. I looked away. Bitch, the fuck is you looking at me for? This nigga just won your head and went for the layup. What the fuck? I'm not getting in between that shit. Bitch, you better call the law. Run. Men, take that fucking cape off.
Man, this should be a prime example. You should mind your own business. So this guy tries to protect his co-worker from her husband, right? On domestic violence. So he got unalive. Unfortunately lost his life. But some people think he did the right thing. Some people think he did the bad thing. And I think it wasn't the best idea of him doing that because, man, if you have kids, if you have so much to lose in life, don't risk your life trying to rescue a woman that's not your girlfriend, not your family member, a woman that you don't know. If you feel like another woman's in danger, and think about it, he's trying to defend his co-worker from her husband while they've been together. She continues to stay with him while he's basically being abusive to her, right? Not calling the police. Now, if you feel like a woman's in danger, call the police. It's not worth trying to risk and lose your life. We're not Superman. You know what I mean? Men are crazy in this generation. He could get his weapons in the shrunken car after he lost. Or he could be carrying. And let's say this man has wife and kids. And the police officer knock on his wife's door like, hey, your husband lost his life for trying to defend his coworker from her husband. And it's just, I'm like, what? You know what I mean? And next thing you know, the woman that he defended is not going to attend his funeral. She's going to forget about him 2 weeks later. You know what I'm saying? Do not put your life on the line over a woman that don't care about you, not your girlfriend, not your family member that you don't know. If you feel like another woman's in danger, call the police.
You're not my family. You're not someone I'm romantically involved with. You're not tall enough, handsome enough, rich enough, smart enough. I don't owe you a smile. I don't owe you words of encouragement. I don't owe you respect. I don't owe you any kind of gratitude. Men will hold the doors open for women and they won't even say thank you because I don't know you. The same way when you see a man down on his luck, you judge and laugh instead of offering him words of encouragement, speaking life into him. Why should I do that? That's a stranger. Things that don't cost you anything, you will not give to a man that you don't know, you don't want. But y'all expect these men who don't know you, don't owe you anything, and they have their own families at home that they need to get back to. Y'all expect those men to lay their life on the line for you when y'all can't even give them a hi, smile, or a thank you. Oh, okay.
Listen, what do you guys think about what she had to say? Listen, I 100% agree with what she's saying because it's just the truth. And this may not be the case for every single woman out there. We know that there are some respectable, women out there, but from what we're seeing in this modern society with a lot of these younger modern women, I tend to see a lot of selfish, self-absorbed, entitled, mean, judgmental, too good for men type of women out here lately. And a lot of these women are very, very entitled.
I am so happy to see that a lot of men are starting to wake up and come to terms that us being told from a young age that we should go and protect a woman that's being abused or harmed by a random man in the streets, or even her man, that we should jump in and protect her. Yeah, no, I'm glad a lot of us are starting to see that that's bullshit. Because one thing that's pretty interesting to me is that, like, how did society not, like, look at the fact that if this man is psychotic enough to hit a woman out in public in front of people, that he might not be psychotic enough to actually end up taking anyone's life that tries to intervene? Like, did people just overlook the psychology of that? And I can even say that movies also play a factor in this as well. Like, I would say certain movies, certain Hollywood movies, or even certain Marvel movies play a factor in this, because, like, a lot of us want to try to be fucking Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, whatever. Like, no, that's not real life. We will get fucking murked because we don't know what some of these men are capable of. Some of these men are very psychotic, and they do not mind being behind bars over a chick. And we live in a time where fighting is, like, only but so common now. Like, everybody has guns now, everyone has straps, so it's really not worth putting your life at risk for that. And do people ever take the time to think, like, okay, this woman is being hit by her boyfriend in public, like, this probably is not the very first time that he's done this. Like, she probably deals with this on a daily, on a weekly, whatever. Like, she probably deals with this very frequently. Imagine losing your life over a woman that probably enjoys the shit. Like, because I'm gonna be honest, there are some women out there that genuinely, like, enjoy the toxicity of a relationship. Some of them associate abuse or, like, even being hit with, like, a form of love, especially if she grew up in a toxic, household or whatever. But, like, that's besides the point. Like, imagine losing your life over a woman that you don't know, a woman that's not yours, and a woman that chooses to stay in that situation and deals with that. Once you protect her, or once you intervene and stop the situation, but then you lose your life, you think that she's gonna have a lot of sympathy for you, or she's gonna be, like, depressed over you. She doesn't even fucking know you. While you are 6 feet under, she is going to be visiting this man in prison and, crying on the phone through the window, telling him how much she misses him, how much she really loves him, and, like, that she really wishes that he can come back home. And meanwhile, she is not gonna have any thoughts whatsoever of even trying to find her grave to drop flowers off, or even drop flowers off to your mother. Personally, I would teach my son to never intervene and to go get help or call the police. That's it. Here's a part 2 of why men should not protect random women in the streets as being domestically abused by her man or even a random man. So for the same women that like to get upset about this, I find it interesting because these same women, if they had a son, right, and they teach their son to protect the woman no matter what that's being harmed by a man, if their son end up 6 feet under or hospitalized, God forbid, then they would feel very stupid about even teaching their son to do that. And let's say that the situation gets investigated, right, and they come to terms that the woman that was being abused did something to the child of that man or their child, whatever, right? Like, you just never know what the situation can be. Now that woman is going to feel very stupid for telling her son to protect the woman no matter what. And here's another thing that people probably are not going to agree with, but, like, I personally know this for a fact, but, like, most of men protecting women from a random guy hitting them is all dependent upon how good that woman looks. Oh, now I know that probably went over a lot of y'all heads. Well, let me explain, because if it's some freaking 300-pound, horrible looking woman being hit, I'm pretty sure most guys would not care, and some guys would even probably, like, just sit there and film and not do anything. Now, if it's a very attractive woman that is being domestically abused or attacked by a man in public, almost every single man is going to be willing to intervene, like, immediately, because a lot of us over pedestalize the female sex, and especially if she is super attractive. And some men also have the intentions of hoping that they get the woman, or they earn her, or whatever, or, like, get cheeks after protecting the woman. And I know that might sound childish as fuck saying that, but, like, that's actually the truth. Like, some men really do be expecting that shit. Because, like I mentioned in the part 1, like, movies factor into this. What do us little boys see in Marvel movies or superhero movies? We see, the superhero protect a random female, a random woman, and the next thing you know, she falls in love with him. Like, let's be honest. Like, this is stuff that we have been programmed and, like, we've seen as kids. And if you guys think that grown men still can't think like this, you guys are sadly mistaken. Especially, like, because, at the end of the day, like, movies aside, but, like, we just biologically are attracted to beautiful women. And if we see a beautiful woman that is in danger or whatever, our natural instinct is going to be to go and protect her. And then a lot of the times we're going to expect something, some sort of reward, which would be her. But bottom line, the same women that get upset that men are choosing to not do anything are going to be the same ones that regret teaching their sons this shit if their sons end up getting hurt, hospitalized, or even 6 feet under.
This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 4, verse 15, in the KJV, and it reads, But let none of you suffer as a murderer, or as a thief, or as an evildoer, or as a busybody in other men's matters. In the NLT, if you suffer, however, it must not be for murder, stealing, making trouble, or prying into other people's affairs. Giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahak HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well in teaching me this 100% truth. Salutations to them and my fellow Akim who labor in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also salutations to the hopeful elect of the scattered 12 tribes of Israel, scattered to the four corners of the earth that be like unto the speckled bird, also known as your Israelite foreigners and your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. To you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Ayashah Barzal from the Indianapolis branch of the Great Millstone, coming back at you with another lesson that is edifying to the elect body of the nation of Israel. And, man, you just saw those clips. Eve, it really looks like your protection is slipping away. A lot of y'all are not going to make it during Judgment Day. Like the one, these spirits of vengeance are about to be out here. Matthew 24 says the love of many is going to wax cold. That means people are going to be psycho. And, you guys are going to be, some targets. Ezekiel 9:4 tells you that, a lot of women are going to be meeting a judgment. But like the lady said in the first video, a lot of that is because of your mouth. All right. Bucking up. I got a bunch of videos of women bucking up to men, challenging them, and I don't know, just like the guy said, it's these movies, that's got y'all messed up. You thinking you equal to men, and you're not. But like she said, a lot of the situations you cause that either get you hurt and or somebody else killed is because of your mouth. This is Proverbs 15:1. And it reads, a soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger, and you like plenty of guys say, y'all just don't know when to shut the fuck up, and especially when you do it publicly, because now you're trying to, embarrass the person, and I'm not saying this is all women, but it seems like, when something like this happens, all men get blamed. All right. Same situation with that lady who claims she got hit in the face with a brick. All right. Y'all jumped on all men talking about men not defending women, and she lied. She lied about that. All right. She flat out lied. And, like people were saying in those videos, if a man's got family, a wife, why should he put his life on the line for you when he does not know you or even know how the situation started? It's not going to happen. But you're going to have some out there that's going to do it, and it's going to cost them their lives, all because of your mouth, which you have a serious a problem controlling just because, all because of your mouth. This is Proverbs 18:21. All right. It says, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat its fruit. Okay. That wrath from not, having a soft answer that you incur for not having a soft answer, it leads to death. Somebody, you and or the person that you got involved. But that guy should have not gotten it, and he now, he left behind a wife and children, you know, all over a woman, which he did not know the full story. You just jump in and try to help. That's not good, man. Because if a dude, like the guy said, if a dude's losing it like that in public, and she's been with that guy for a while, something was said or something was done for him to act like that, And I'm not, defending. I'm not defending the guy, okay. But the thing is, you gotta know when you pressing the wrong buttons. You can't be pushing. And if he come up to your job and does something happened for him just to spaz out like that. All right. But y'all, you don't know how to be quiet. And here again, you see, there's an uptick in guys saying, hey, don't jump. You got women saying it, don't jump in that, especially, if it may cost you your family. All right. Stay out of that situation. If you have to help, call the police, walk in another direction. But yeah, now this guy's gone. But we know scriptures, Job 4:7, the Lord says, no one perishes being innocent. Okay? You will be judged for your sins. Some people can't understand why. It's because you probably have committed that sin in a prior life and never got properly judged for that sin. All right? We can get that in 2nd Ezra 14 and 35. I'll start at 34. Therefore, if so be that ye will subdue your own understanding and reform your hearts, ye shall be kept alive, and after death ye shall obtain mercy. Okay. Verse 35. For after death shall the judgment come, when we shall live again. We come back, reincarnation. And then the names of the righteous be manifest. And then shall the names of the righteous be manifest, and the works of the ungodly shall be declared. You come back for judgment. Okay? If you're not judged in that life. Okay, which is, probably what happened to this a guy who jumped in on that domestic violence tip. This is Ecclesiastes, is I believe it's 8 and 11. Con says, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the hearts of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Okay. He probably wasn't a judge for a prior sin. Okay. And I'm just going according to the scriptures. This is nothing exact, but I only go with the information that I have. All right. We are judged for our sins, whether it be in that current life or past life. All right. So yeah, and he probably never repented for it or atoned for it, and he met his judgment on that day, trying to help some woman who you don't know people, truly know them. I've always, one of my MOs when people say, "You got any friends?" Yes, I have some friends. You want to introduce me to them? Hell no. I don't know you like that. I don't know my friend in that situation either. So if you want to get to meet him, go talk to him yourself. I'm not in that. All right. I'm not in that at all, because you get mad. Now it's my fault. No, I don't get into that. You don't need a mediator. Go talk. You say anything else you want to, go talk to him. All right. But yeah, that guy should not have gotten involved with that. And as those guys were saying, this is actually scriptural. This is Sirach or Ecclesiasticus. It's in the Apocrypha, chapter 11, and start at 9. Okay? And it reads, Strive not in a matter that concerneth thee not, and sit not in judgment with sinners. Okay? Strive not in a matter that concerneth thee not. That's the husband and wife, man. Whatever goes on is between them. You know, you should not have stepped into that situation. And now you pay with your life. Okay? It says, and sit not in judgment with sinners. You don't know what transgression that woman did for that man to spaz out like that. You have no clue what happened. And by siding with her, once again, you lost your life. All right? And it goes on. My son, meddle not with many matters, for if thou meddle much, thou shalt not be innocent. And if thou follow after, thou shalt not obtain, neither shalt thou escape by fleeing. Yeah, you didn't get to go anywhere, man. You know, you got taken out real quick. Let me grab these two in the GNT. 1 second here. Good News Translation. I knew I saved it somewhere. Shit, there we go. Sirach 11. Oh boy, these ads. Okay. Verses 9 and 10 in the GNT. It says, don't get into an argument over something that is none of your business. Don't take part in decisions that are being made by sinners. Okay? Stay out of that. Okay? And we're all sinners by nature. No one is righteous, you know. Like I said in Job 4 and 7. Let me grab that and then come back. Job 4 and 7. It says, remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? Okay? Plain and simple. No one's innocent. Okay? Back to that G&T. Back at 9 again. Do not get into an argument over something that is none of your business. Don't take part in decisions that are being made by sinners. Verse 10. My child, don't get involved in too many things. If you try to do too much, you will suffer for it. You won't be able to finish your work, and you won't be able to get away from it either. Boom. Drop the mic on that. All right, I didn't want to make this too long. But once again, giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rahagakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders and great millstone who rule well in teaching me this 100% truth. Salutations to them and our fellow Akim who labor in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also salutations to the hopeful elect of the scattered 12 tribes of Israel, scattered to the four corners of the earth, that be likened to the speckled bird, also known as your Israelite foreigners, and your so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. To you, I say Shalom, Kwam Yasharala, Abba Babal. Yeah, Eve, that, you know, the man are pulling away. What you gonna do? You know, that righteous man is gonna be your protection in that day. All right, Isaiah 4 and 1. You know, Isaiah chapter 32, verses 1 through 3. And if you ain't got them, you know, you will not be protected. Shalom.